And welcome into a state championship edition of the Recruiting Roundup powered by Rock and Refuel. Scout.com's Jason Jewell and I'm Jared Cohen. We normally bring you high school football recruiting and do so year round, but seeing as it's state championship week, we're going to dive into these games, divisions 1 through 5, starting with you, Jason, division 5, which is going to be Yuma Catholic against Tempe Prep, which is a 2 p.m. kickoff Saturday at North Canyon.
Yeah, two very contrasting, different styles of football teams. Now, Yuma Catholic, they haven't really been tested. They've gone and they play offense. They love to score. They have scored 40 or more points in 12 of their 13 wins. Big-time playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. You look at tight end Matt Pistone, who's committed to Oregon State. Donovan Rooks, their wide receiver, is having a big-time year. Carter Rodriguez scored 6 touchdowns last week in the semifinals. And then Jagan Cleary, he does it all. He's their signal caller at quarterback. Now Tempe Prep, they play defense. That's how they win games. They won last week 14-6, and they have allowed 8 points or less in 8 games this year. Very, very impressive. They're led on defense by Daniel Heiser. He has 10 interceptions on the year. And then Zach Britton, he's their linebacker. He's their leading tackler.
And this is a rematch game going back to the very beginning of the year, which saw Yuma Catholic come away the winner. Division 4, I'm going to look into this one. It's Snowflake against River Valley. And this is all about, Jason, the running game. Both teams run the ball like crazy. Snowflake averages 302 yards per game on the ground. They have Trevor McCray and also Drew Schneider. McCray had 1,300 yards on the year. Schneider had 1,200 yards on the year, both 1,000-yard rushers. And then when you look at River Valley, Brandon Long, he's the workhorse for them running the football. 2,300 yards, 36 touchdowns. River Valley puts up 288 yards per game on the ground. This is going to be all about the running games, and whichever one lasts and works the best is going to be the winner. Division 3, Saguaro against Williamsfield, 11:30 kickoff at Sun Devil Stadium. Tell us about it.
Yeah, another rematch game where Saguaro won earlier in the year, 42-7. They kind of took it to Williamsfield, so I think those kids out there and Coach Campbell, they're going to have a chip on their shoulder. They're going to be ready to go. You talked about good running games. Well, Williamsfield has one. Braden Bushman is their guy. He's rushed for over 2,000 yards on the year, and if they have a chance to beat Saguaro, Braden Bushman's going to have to put the team on his back. So then you look at Saguaro and all the playmakers. It looks like they're going to be without Cameron Johnson still, but Christian Kirk, we mentioned a ton of times throughout the year, is just a stud. And then Corey Lyles, their quarterback, having a good year. So this is another good Division III matchup where I think Williamsfield's going to be hungry and fighting. And Saguaro, hopefully, Coach Mons, they do a good job in the short week over Thanksgiving. These kids don't overlook a Williamsfield team that they beat handily in the regular season.
Division 2, a very, very exciting matchup for two West Side teams that have really grown to be quite the little rivalry. Liberty against Centennial, that's going to be a 4:30 kickoff at Sun Devil Stadium on Saturday. And this game, Liberty, you just get the hunch that they might be able to get over the top, and what better a time to do it against the Coyotes than in the state title game. Last season when they met, they went up huge on Centennial, and then Dedrick Young took over, and the Coyotes had a big comeback victory at Liberty. This year, a close, low-scoring affair which saw Centennial just pull away slightly in the end. This game has a lot of athletes all over the field, Jason, some that we've talked about quite a bit. Mentioned Dedrick Young, Corey Wilson, Tyler Wyatt, the quarterback at Liberty, Isaac Steele, the quarterback for Centennial. I got my eye, though, on the trenches. Centennial has one of the best offensive lines in the state. The interior linemen of Marshall Nathy and also Stephen Bailey going up against a guy that you pegged as a breakout prospect last week, Aaron Blackwell, the defensive tackle. I'm watching the trenches in this game because I think that battle is going to decide the winner in Division 2. Now, finally, Jason, back to you. Division 1, Hamilton-Chandler, the Battle of Arizona Avenue travels over to Glendale for the state championship game. It's only fitting, Jason, that Chandler finally gets to the state championship game in 65 years, but who is it but Hamilton standing in their way?
I think it's pretty safe to say that these two teams, they hate each other.
Pretty safe to say that.
Coach Bellis and Coach Aguano, both great guys. I don't think they hate each other. The players over there, they know each other well. They played Pop Warner football with each other. This game is going to be huge, going to be played on Friday night. Now, Hamilton is a team, they play tough on defense. They're giving up less than 14 points a game so far in the playoffs. They're led up front. That's where it all starts with their two defensive linemen, Garrett Rand, a junior who is an absolute monster, strong, tough inside, and Caleb Pert, the defensive end who's committed to Vanderbilt. I expect a big game from these two against the Chandler Wolves. Now on offense, we already talked about yesterday, we talked about James Sosinski, their quarterback, committed to UMass. Now what Hamilton does on offense, they're not going to turn the ball over. They're going to march down the field methodically, and they don't score a ton of points. They're not like Chandler, but they're going to go down and they're going to take their opportunities, take advantage of the opportunities, and put up points when they need to. Now you look at Chandler, they're a team, they average 50 points a game on offense, just absolutely ridiculous. But when you go back and look in the playoffs, they're giving up less than 12 points a game on defense. Now Bryce Perkins, he leads the way, but they're just full of athletes over there. Justin Jan, who's had a great year. Chase Lucas at running back, only a junior. This is a offense that needs to be stopped, and if Hamilton is going to win this game, they need to control Chandler's offense.
Should be a fun week. There you have it. Divisions 1 through 5 going to be decided after Thanksgiving this week. That's Scout.com's Jason Jewell. I'm Jared Cohen. This has been a special state championship edition of the Recruiting Roundup powered by Rock and Refuel.